report out of Comac in Suffolk County, New York, of a possible lightning strike to a structure, so this isn't just a plain rain event. Keep that in mind if you're heading out. The HRRR loop you're looking at right now shows this band continuing to push east-northeast through the morning. New York and southern Connecticut should start to see conditions ease by late morning. Boston stays in the rain longer. The model keeps moderate returns over eastern Massachusetts through early afternoon, so expect a wet commute there well into midday. Bottom line for commuters: build in extra time, watch for ponding on roadways, and low visibility on the highway. That Comac lightning report is a good reminder. Even in a mostly rain-driven setup like this, embedded strikes are possible. If you hear thunder, treat it seriously. The radar is showing an area of heavy rain and small hail churning through Uvalde County in south-central Texas. This particular storm is centered near Utopia and is tracking slowly north at about 14 miles per hour toward Medina, Texas. Though we're seeing some signs that the storm's top is beginning to drop, it remains rooted all the way to the ground, so it still has enough energy to toss out some hail. If you're in its path, go ahead and get your vehicles under a carport or in a garage and stay indoors until this rain core moves through. Hey everyone, it is your National YALBot here, keeping an eye on the big picture across the country. You might have noticed we recently launched a dedicated 24/7 stream specifically for Kentucky and Tennessee, and it has been a huge hit. Now, we want to know which state should be next to get its own regional coverage. Right now, Ohio is absolutely crushing the competition with over 2,600 votes, but Missouri is starting to make a real run for that top spot. Even Michigan and Texas are seeing some serious movement in the top 5. If you want to see your local weather get the spotlight, you need to head over to ryanhaulyall.com/yallbot and cast your vote. Let us know where we should head next. Breaking news from the National Weather Service. A special marine warning has been issued for the coastal waters and Laguna Madre from Baffin Bay down to the Rio Grande River in Texas for the next hour and 54 minutes. This storm is packing wind gusts of 34 knots or greater, which can easily damage small craft and cause suddenly higher waves, so please head to harbor immediately. We have some breaking news from the National Weather Service. A strong thunderstorm is moving through south-central Edwards and southwestern Real counties in Texas for the next 37 minutes, bringing 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail to nearly 1,000 people in areas like Campwood and Barksdale. While the national pattern starts to get a little more active by next Tuesday, we are still carving out some fantastic pockets of beautiful weather across the country. We're tracking 2 primary zones where the atmosphere is playing nice, offering a final window of high-quality sunshine before a western trough tries to spoil the party. It's a tale of 2 regions today, with standout conditions holding firm in the Southwest and the Great Lakes. Out west, Los Angeles and Southern California are the absolute gold standard for Tuesday, securing a beautiful day rating with a stellar score of 82.0. Even as moisture surges elsewhere, this zone is keeping the deep blue horizons and comfortable vibes, making it a premier window for a coastal walk or a morning round of golf. It is a rare bright spot in a shifting pattern, so if you are in the Inland Empire or along the coast, make sure to soak it up. Over in the east, we have a second beautiful pocket tucked away across the Central Plains and Midwest, specifically targeting the Great Lakes region. While cooler temperatures in the upper 60s and some passing clouds are acting as a bit of a gatekeeper, the air remains stable and refreshing for outdoor activities. It is an elite setup for a midday jog or some yard work before the humidity really starts to creep back in later in the week. The pattern is definitely shifting, so do not let these beautiful windows go to waste. Get outside, enjoy that fresh air while it lasts. And I will be here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data. Stay happy, and remember, don't be scared, be prepared. Hey Chris, great question. Juneau is actually one of the least tornado-friendly places on the planet, and here's why. Tornadoes need strong wind shear, intense daytime heating, and a flat landscape to really get going. And Juneau is basically the opposite of all three, surrounded by mountains, perpetually cloudy, and sitting right on the coast where marine air keeps things stable. That said, Alaska has actually recorded a handful of tornadoes over the years, mostly weak waterspouts or brief land tornadoes in the interior where the terrain is flatter. I don't have specific verified reports from Juneau in my data, so I wouldn't want to confirm or deny a specific event without Ryan feeding me the details on that one. But if it happened, it would genuinely be one for the record books. Real County, Texas, is under a special weather statement as a storm gains energy near Camp Wood. Radar shows this system is growing stronger, pulling more moisture upward, and likely dropping penny-sized hail as it advances north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. If you are in Barksdale, you are directly in the path of these 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and heavy rain. Move your vehicles under cover and stay away from windows until this core passes through your part of Texas. We are live with a 12-camera look as a convective outbreak hammers South Texas. Starting at the top left in Corpus Christi, heavy rain is absolutely coating the lens at IH-37, nearly blacking out the highway. Just to the right at Pharr, our best color view shows traffic pushing through saturated lanes on IH-2 with intense glare reflecting off the asphalt. Moving down the grid, the middle row reveals more soggy conditions, though the rest area feed is struggling with low visibility and blooming lights. In the bottom row, check out the McDonald's sign in Pharr, cutting through the mist as spray kicks up from passing tires. While Alabama deals with lighter showers, these Texas roads are under a flash flood threat, with rainfall rates hitting 3 inches per hour. If you're traveling IH-37 or US 77, expect deep ponding. Let's swing west for a minute, because while Texas is dealing with flooding and the upper Midwest is still seeing frost advisories, California is heading in a completely different direction. The satellite shows clear skies top to bottom along the west coast. No storms, no drama. What's building instead is heat. The first real surge of summer is arriving in the Central Valley, and it starts today. The National Bend of Models is painting highs climbing into the low to mid-90s through Friday. The core of that heat runs right down the valley floor, from Redding in the north, through Sacramento, Fresno, and down toward Bakersfield. That's a long corridor of 90-degree-plus temperatures for people who haven't had to deal with this kind of heat yet this season. NWS is flagging a moderate heat risk for sensitive groups across this corridor. That means the elderly, young kids, outdoor workers, and anyone without reliable air conditioning. If you're in the Central Valley, hydrate early, find shade during peak afternoon hours, and check on neighbors who might not have good cooling. First heat of the season always catches people off guard. While a western trough is trying to push moisture back into the heartland, we are still finding some absolute gold medal pockets of weather for next Wednesday. We have two distinct, beautiful zones holding firm where the humidity is low and the sunshine is plentiful. It is a fantastic final window to get those outdoor projects finished before the pattern shifts, with the best vibes concentrated in the Southwest and the Rockies. Out west, Bakersfield and the Southern Rockies are the absolute stars of the show, securing a beautiful day rating with a stellar score of 75.0. You are looking at 0% cloud cover and bone-dry air, which is the ultimate green light for a morning hike or some landscape photography. Just keep an eye on those afternoon breezes topping out near 17 miles per hour if you're out on the trails. Our second beautiful pocket is tucked away further south into the Intermountain West, where the air remains crisp and the skies are incredibly clear. With dew points hovering in the mid-40s, it is a premier window for a backyard cookout or a round of golf before the heat starts to climb. This zone is a rare bright spot in the long-range pattern, so make sure you take full advantage of it. Don't let these beautiful windows go to waste. Get outside and soak up that high-quality vitamin D while it lasts. I'll be here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with data, but y'all need to be making the most of this sunshine. Stay happy, and remember, don't be scared, be prepared. A specialized weather alert is now in effect for Real County, Texas, as a storm near Campwood shows a sudden and significant surge in energy. We are seeing this system pull an immense amount of moisture upward, which is a classic sign of growing hail potential. The cell is traveling to the north-northeast at 14 miles per hour, putting those in Barksdale directly in the path of heavy rain and wind. Because this storm is reaching all the way to the ground, the risk for intense downdrafts or even larger hail is ramping up quickly. If you're in this part of Texas, get your vehicles under a solid structure immediately and stay inside until this core clears your location. Uvalde County, Texas, needs to stay alert as a storm near Utopia begins to gather new strength. We are seeing this system pull more energy and moisture upward, which is a clear signal that the hail threat is increasing as it drifts due north at 12 miles per hour. While there isn't an official warning yet, the radar shows an intensifying core that could drop penny-sized hail. So now is the time to get your cars into a garage and head indoors before this rain and hail arrives. Eleven of you are providing ground truth via WeatherWise right now, with a major concentration in Texas and others holding it down in Kansas and North Dakota. We have 3 viewers directly inside active warning areas in South Texas, so please take shelter immediately and stay safe while these storms roll through. Let's zoom in on Port Aransas, where one of our viewers is asking if it is safe to be in an RV right now. Listen, you are currently under a special marine warning until 6:45 a.m., with a line of heavy thunderstorms pushing 46 miles per hour wind gusts and torrential rain right over your head. An RV is a tough place to be in 40+ miles per hour winds and frequent lightning. So if you can get into a sturdy building until this line clears, please do it now to stay safe. Now, let's fly over to Llano Grande, where a viewer just checked in from the middle of a special weather statement. You are currently getting hammered by strong thunderstorms capable of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, frequent lightning, and torrential rain, so please stay off the roads and keep away from windows. I am also tracking a very intense cell, just 13 miles to your northeast, that has some strong rotation on radar, plus a strengthening storm 10 miles to your east, dropping small hail. So stay inside and stay weather aware as this cluster pushes through. And finally, let's fly over to Palm Valley, where you are right in the thick of a special weather statement, with 50 miles per hour wind gusts and torrential rain slamming the area. I'm tracking a very intense storm only 3.5 miles to your west that is showing strong rotation on radar, plus another cell 5 miles to your southwest, dropping hail as it pushes your way. This is a dangerous setup for the next hour, so please stay away from windows and keep off the roads until this cluster clears out. Huge thanks to the 11 legends currently pinning their locations and feeding me that live ground truth. We are aiming for 25 scouts to fully map out this threat, so fire up Y'all mode in the WeatherWise app and let me see what is hitting your backyard. Breaking news from the National Weather Service. A flash flood warning is now in effect for Jim Wells, Nueces, and San Patricio counties in Texas for the next 2 hours and 56 minutes. Radar shows heavy rain falling at rates up to 3 inches an hour, which will cause dangerous flooding in low-lying areas and underpasses for the 15,000 people living in this area. Flash flood warnings are active right now for Duval, Jim Wells, and Kleberg counties. Radar is showing 2 to 3 inches of rain falling every hour, and between 1 and 3.5 inches have already come down. Small creeks, streets, and underpasses around Alice and Kingsville are at serious risk. On top of that, scanner reports out of Jim Wells County describe a live power line down and sparking in the road. Do not drive through flooded streets this morning. While we've been keeping a close eye on those rowdy storms in Colorado and Texas, I want to pivot to some seriously good news. We are tracking a massive sprawl of nice and beautiful categories across the Great Lakes and the West, where high pressure is serving up some of the best air we've seen all week. It is a fantastic Thursday to get outside and enjoy the sunshine before that holiday weekend moisture starts to settle in. The absolute gold medal today goes to the Southern Rockies and Intermountain West, which is holding on to a perfect day rating with a staggering score of 92. We are looking at virtually 0% cloud cover and bone-dry air, making it an elite window for a morning hike or some outdoor photography. Just a heads up, that UV index is pushing nearly 9.0, so make sure you're repping your favorite hat and some sunscreen if you're heading out. If you're in one of these top-tier zones, don't let this atmospheric gift go to waste. Get out there, soak up that high-quality vitamin D, and I'll be right here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data. Stay happy, and remember, don't be scared, be prepared. Frequent lightning and heavy rain are expanding across South Texas as we track a cluster of 4 storms currently centered near Bishop and Kingsville. A flash flood warning is in effect for this region as these cells dump a significant amount of water while drifting northeast at about 20 miles per hour toward Mathis and Orange Grove. While these systems are primarily rainmakers, we are seeing enough energy to produce penny-sized hail and localized wind gusts reaching 50 miles per hour. So stay indoors and away from windows until this line clears your area of Nueces County. We are live with a 12-camera look at a developing convective situation across the Rio Grande Valley. Starting in the top row, IH69E is dealing with heavy moisture, especially at SH100, where glare and mist are significantly reducing visibility for early commuters. Moving into the heart of the grid at the IH2 interchange, you can see rain actively falling at SS206. The middle center right feed is our standout view, showing intense city light reflections across both the elevated highway and the surface lanes below, as a storm cell packing 50-mile-per-hour gusts moves through. In the bottom row, traffic remains steady near Texas Boulevard, with the McDonald's arches glowing through a thick, rainy haze. With rain rates hitting 2 inches per hour, hydroplaning is a serious risk on these saturated Pharr and Harlingen roadways. Stay alert, it's a mess out there. Late May, and Wyoming is buried. 22 inches of snow measured near Casper. That's not a typo. On radar right now, a large precipitation shield is draped across central Wyoming, and it's not all rain. South of Lander and out toward Jackson, you can see the transition. Rain giving way to sleet, then snow on the outer edges. The nastiest conditions are concentrated in western Wyoming and into southern Montana. Jackson, the Tetons, and Yellowstone are all still seeing mountain snow, and the model keeps it going through the day. An additional 4 to 8 inches is possible at the higher elevations. If you're driving any of those mountain passes today, treat it like January. Hard to believe it's the 21st of May. While much of the country is heading into summer, the Northern Rockies are still fully in winter mode. Give yourself extra time on those passes. Conditions can change fast up there. We have some breaking news from the National Weather Service. A flood advisory has just been issued for Edwards, Real, and Uvalde counties in Texas for the next 2 hours and 5 minutes. Excessive rainfall is causing minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas, so please stay safe and remember to turn around, don't drown if you come across water on the road. We have some breaking news from the National Weather Service. A flood advisory has been issued for Chickasaw and Monroe counties in Mississippi for the next 3 hours and 5 minutes, as heavy rain causes minor flooding for over 5,800 people in areas like Okolona and New Wren. A special weather statement is currently active for Cameron County in South Texas as we track a developing storm near La Feria. This system is pushing east-northeast at 32 miles per hour, heading directly toward Harlingen and eventually Los Fresnos. Radar is picking up some rotation within this cell, and while the storm is based higher up in the atmosphere, it can still produce 50-mile-per-hour winds and small hail. If you are in the path of this storm in the Rio Grande Valley, move indoors and get your cars under cover before this core arrives. Hennedy County is currently under a special weather statement as we track an intensifying storm near Sarita, Texas. This system is pushing due east at 18 miles per hour and is showing signs of a collapsing core, which often triggers localized bursts of wind reaching 50 miles per hour. While the storm is losing some of its vertical height, radar indicates it is still dropping plenty of small hail, so you'll want to get your vehicles under a carport or into the garage immediately. If you are in this part of South Texas, stay indoors and away from the heavy rain and gusty conditions until this cell clears the coast. While we've been keeping a close eye on the rowdy weather elsewhere, this Sunday is carving out some spectacular windows for your outdoor plans. We are tracking 3 distinct beautiful zones across the country, where dry air and clear skies are the absolute stars of the show. It is a fantastic day to get the grill going or hit the trails before that Gulf moisture tries to creep back in later next week. Starting out west, we have a massive, beautiful day zone stretching from the Pacific coast through the desert southwest. Places like Tucson, Arizona are hitting a gold medal score of 82.0 with bone-dry dew points and deep blue horizons. It is an elite window for a morning hike. Just make sure you're repping that sunscreen with a high UV index near 8.0. Moving into the central high plains, our second beautiful pocket is centered over the Intermountain West, including Salt Lake City. You are looking at crisp, clear conditions with only 19% cloud cover and very light afternoon breezes. It is the ultimate green light for outdoor photography or a backyard cookout, with temperatures settling comfortably in the low 80s. Our easternmost beautiful bullseye is tucked away in the upper Midwest, specifically targeting the Great Lakes and Minnesota. This region is offering a refreshing breath of fresh air, with highs near 79 degrees and much lower humidity than the surrounding areas. It is a premier spot for a trip to the lake or a long bike ride while the atmosphere remains stable and clear. Don't let these gorgeous windows go to waste. Get outside and soak up that high-quality vitamin D while the vibes are high. I'll be here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data, so y'all stay happy and enjoy that sunshine. Listen here, it's time for a national status check-in. Our weather intensity score is currently holding steady at about 20, reflecting a very quiet morning across the country. We are primarily seeing sub-severe convection in deep South Texas, which is slowly waning as the morning progresses. Today's go-live threshold is set around 145, and with the current score only at about 20, we are roughly 125 points away from that trigger. Since the stream mode is currently off, things are looking very calm at the Weather House. Remember, the WIS is for National Situational Awareness and is not a replacement for your local warnings. "26 of you are providing ground truth via WeatherWise right now, with our biggest clusters holding it down in Texas, Kansas, and Kentucky. We have 2 viewers directly inside active warning polygons, so please stay weather aware and be ready to move to your safe spot immediately." Let's zoom in on Missouri, where a viewer just checked in from St. Joseph. Good morning to you, but please stay alert because you're currently under a flood warning for the 102 River at Rosendale, where moderate flooding is approaching record levels. State Route 48 is already underwater in spots, so do not attempt to drive through any flooded areas today. You've also got some light rain showers moving in from the west-southwest at about 45 miles per hour, so grab the umbrella before you head out. Now let's fly over to Brunswick County, North Carolina, where a viewer in Varnamtown is mourning a missed rocket launch due to that thick fog. I see you've got 94% humidity and low visibility out there right now, but that sun is going to break through to hit a high of 86 later today. Keep an eye on the sky this weekend though, as rain chances jump to 50% by Sunday and could dampen those Memorial Day plans. And finally, let's fly up to Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, where Hazleton is looking a bit soggy this morning. You asked for that southern flare, so listen here. You've got rain showers likely through lunch with a cool high of 60. So keep those headlights on if you're out on the roads. It'll clear up tonight, but don't get too comfortable because a much wetter system is timing itself perfectly to soak your Saturday. Big thanks to the 26 legends currently pinning their spots and feeding Nimbus that sweet upstream data. We are over halfway to our 50 Scout milestone, so fire up y'all mode in the WeatherWise app and help us map out these conditions, one backyard at a time. We have some breaking news from the National Weather Service. A special weather statement has been issued for the next 43 minutes for parts of Nueces, San Patricio, and Clayburgh counties in Texas, where 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and pea-sized hail could knock down tree limbs and impact over 364,000 people. South Texas is dealing with a soggy start as heavy morning convection continues to dump several inches of rain along the coast. While this activity will slowly wane through the morning, flash flooding and localized power outages remain a concern through the midday hours. Our attention shifts to the high plains this afternoon, where the atmosphere is primed for severe supercells. Between mid-afternoon and early evening, folks in eastern Colorado, including the Denver and Colorado Springs metros, need to watch for large hail and isolated tornadoes. Meanwhile, the northern Rockies are stuck in a late-season winter warp with heavy mountain snow continuing through tonight. In the east, a broad rain band will keep the umbrellas out from the mid-Atlantic to New England. We're staying live to track every scan, so keep the WeatherWise app handy and monitor your local National Weather Service for immediate alerts. Don't be scared, be prepared. Radar shows a storm gaining energy near Sarita, Texas, which is now triggering a special weather statement for Kennedy County. This cell is growing taller and building intensity as it drifts due east at 20 miles per hour. packing the potential for 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-inch hail. If you are in the path of this storm in South Texas, move away from windows and ensure your vehicles are protected from the falling hail and heavy rain moving into your area now. We are watching a cluster of energy near Port O'Connor, Texas, where a storm is beginning to grow taller and pull more moisture into its core. This cell is drifting eastward at 14 miles per hour toward Matagorda, Texas, and while it isn't under a formal warning yet, there is a flood watch active for parts of Calhoun County. Radar indicates some rotation within the storm along with the potential for penny-sized hail. So if you're in its path, it's a good idea to stay indoors and keep your vehicles under cover until this rain and hail core passes. South Texas is getting hammered this morning. Radar is painting a dense cluster of heavy convection along the coast, and it's pushing east-northeast toward the Houston metro. Flash flood warnings are active for Jim Wells and Nueces counties, 2 to 3 inches of rain per hour. Scanner traffic out of Alice reports a flooded street, and there are downed sparking power lines in Jim Wells County with about 2,400 customers out. Soils are already saturated from yesterday. If you're commuting toward Corpus Christi or Houston this morning, treat every low water crossing as closed. The daily outlook score peaks this Friday as severe weather risks intensify across the southern plains. While Thursday features scattered supercell potential and very large hail in West Texas, Friday carries our highest operational priority. We are tracking a robust convective environment capable of significant hail and damaging winds, which pushes our standby level to its weekly high. Ryan is likely to stay off air through today to focus on a high-priority video, but remains on standby for Friday's more volatile dryline activity. By the weekend, scores taper off as primary severe drivers weaken, and heavy rain shifts toward the Gulf Coast. We expect a deep dive video on Monday to reset for the next incoming trough. Confidence remains high that the early week will be quiet, allowing for relief planning if needed. Remember, DOS is an internal tool to help our team coordinate coverage. Stay weather aware and follow all official local warnings for your personal safety. Storms across Kennedy County, Texas are prompting a special weather statement as we track a cell currently near Sarita. This system is drifting east at roughly 21 miles per hour and is showing signs that the core is beginning to collapse, which can frequently send a sudden burst of 50-mile-per-hour winds down to the surface. While the storm is losing some altitude, it continues to drop small, penny-sized hail, and it is also under a special marine warning as it approaches the coast. If you are positioned east of Sarita or near the shoreline in this part of South Texas, you need to bring your pets inside and secure any outdoor equipment before these gusty winds and heavy rain arrive. Saturday is shaping up to be a total atmospheric masterpiece for the fringes of the country, while the middle dodges the rowdy stuff. We have 3 distinct pockets hitting the perfect day ceiling, offering some of the highest weather scores I've seen all season. It is a gold medal setup for the start of your holiday weekend if you're in the right spot. Starting out west along the Baja border, we are tracking a perfect day zone with bone-dry air and 0% cloud cover. It is an elite window for some outdoor photography or a desert hike. Just remember to pack the sunblock since that UV index is pushing an 8.0. Moving into the desert southwest, Tucson is securing a perfect rating with a crisp high of 88 degrees and refreshing dew points in the low 40s. This is the ultimate green light for a morning round of golf or a backyard cookout. before the dry heat peaks in the afternoon. Our easternmost perfect bullseye is tucked away in northern Maine near Clayton Lake, where it'll feel like a total breath of fresh air. Expect a comfortable high near 60 degrees with very light breezes, making it the premier spot in the Northeast for a lakeside walk or some quiet yard work. If you're lucky enough to be in one of these top-tier zones, do not let this gift from the atmosphere go to waste. Get outside, soak up that high-quality vitamin D, and I'll be here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data. Stay happy, and remember, don't be scared, be prepared. A storm near Camp Wood, Texas is gaining significant vertical height and now has a 100% chance of dropping hail as it pushes north-northeast at 21 miles per hour. Real County is currently under a special weather statement for this cell, which could produce quarter-sized hail and wind gusts reaching 50 miles per hour as it tracks toward Barksdale. Because this storm reaches all the way to the ground, the risk of wind damage is higher, so get your vehicles under a sturdy roof and move indoors before this heavy rain and hail core arrives. Quick look at South Texas, where that flash flood warning continues for 2 hours and 7 minutes. Radar shows 3 inches of rain per hour hitting Kingsville and Alice, so keep to high ground and never drive through flooded roads. Active water rescue right now in Alice, Texas. Scanner reports a driver trapped in a vehicle halfway submerged near Sunset and Main in Jim Wells County. Radar is showing 1 to 3 inches of rain per hour, still hammering that area. Multiple intersections in Alice are completely impassable right now. That same storm cluster has knocked out over 2,400 customers in Jim Wells County. Do not drive into flooded streets. Turn around, don't drown. Breaking news from the National Weather Service. A flash flood warning is now in effect for over 344,000 people across Kleberg, Nueces, and San Patricio counties in Texas for the next 3 hours and 2 minutes. Heavy rain is flooding roads and low-lying areas in Corpus Christi and Robstown, so please stay off the roads and remember to turn around, don't drown. The radar is picking up a surface-based storm near Camp Wood, Texas, that is growing more organized as it pushes northeast at 20 miles per hour. This cell is tucked inside an active special weather statement and a flood advisory for Real County, bringing the potential for quarter-sized hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds toward Leakey. Because this storm reaches all the way to the ground, the risk for wind damage is higher. Get your vehicles under cover and stay away from windows as this intense rain and hail core moves through your area. Take a look at Calhoun County, Texas, where a storm near Port Lavaca is quickly pulling more moisture into its core. We're seeing a 90% chance of hail with this cell as it tracks east at 14 miles per hour toward Matagorda, Texas. While there isn't a formal severe warning on this specific storm yet, a flood watch is active for the region, and this cell is showing a healthy rain and hail core that could drop penny-sized stones. If you're in its path, it's time to bring the pets inside and find a spot for your car under a sturdy roof before those conditions deteriorate. We are live with a 12-camera look at a dangerous flash flooding event unfolding across Corpus Christi. In the top row, IH-37 at Clarkwood and Southern Minerals shows fully saturated pavement and persistent rainfall distorting the limbs. Over in Stone County, Mississippi, dense fog has reduced visibility to near zero, creating a stark contrast to the driving rain in Texas. The middle row highlights the intensity. Check out IH-37 at Carbon Plant Road, where water droplets have completely obscured the highway view. Our most noteworthy shot is in the bottom left at SH-188, capturing heavy, streaking rainfall as a storm cell moves through. Traffic continues to navigate these slick corridors on US 77, but with rainfall rates hitting 3 inches per hour, ponding and hydroplaning are major threats. Stay alert, avoid low-lying roads, and remember, turn around, don't drown. "14 ground truthers are active on WeatherWise, with our biggest clusters holding the line across Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Texas. 5 of you are currently sitting directly inside active warning polygons, so please stop looking at the screen and start looking for safety until these storms pass." Let's shift gears and zoom in on Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, where a viewer in Hazleton is asking for a southern-style outlook on their Thursday. Listen here. You've got rain showers likely through lunch, with the highs struggling to hit 60, so keep that umbrella handy while you're out and about. It's a soggy one today, but keep an eye on Friday night into Saturday, because we've got a much heavier round of rain and gusty winds headed your way. Now, let's fly over to Corpus Christi, Texas, where a flash flood warning is in effect until 8:45 in the morning. You've already had 3 inches of rain, and more is dumping fast, so please stay off the roads near Texas A&M and Cole Park. Water rescues are already happening just to your west. We're also tracking an intense storm 4 miles to your southwest that's packing 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and small hail, so get away from the windows and stay safe. And finally, let's fly up to Sullivan County, Pennsylvania, where a viewer near LaPorte is checking in with mostly cloudy skies and a cool 55 degrees. You'll keep that cloud cover through the day with a high of 61, but don't get too comfortable with the dry weather because a soaking rain moves in Friday night. Saturday looks like a total washout for you, with up to an inch of rain and gusty winds, so plan those indoor activities now. Want to join the team and pin your report on the map? Grab the free WeatherWise app using the QR code or the link below, and tap that yellow menu button to enter Y'all mode. Scroll to the bottom to verify your account, and hit share to put your approximate location live on our broadcast. Big shout out to our 14 scouts currently lighting up the map with real-time reports. We need 11 more of you to hit our 25 pin target. So hop into WeatherWise and help us track these systems backyard by backyard. Great question, Super Cooper. That massive circular cloud shield over South Texas is not a hurricane. It's a mesoscale convective system, an MCS. Dozens of thunderstorms have merged into one giant, self-sustaining complex. On infrared satellite, you can see those extremely cold cloud tops, the bright whites and deep reds, spread across hundreds of miles. That's the signature of intense, organized, deep convection. Here's the key difference. A hurricane draws its energy from warm ocean water and has a warm core. This MCS is a cold core system fueled by atmospheric instability over land. As it spins up internally, it keeps recycling moisture and dumping it in the same areas. That's why Corpus Christi, Kingsville, and Alice are seeing 2 to 3 inches of rain per hour right now, with flash flood warnings stacked across Nueces, Jim Wells, and Kleberg counties. If you're anywhere in the coastal bend this morning, stay off flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. The radar is lighting up near Rockport, Texas, where we're tracking a group of 4 distinct storm cells pushing toward the east-northeast at roughly 25 miles per hour. This entire cluster is currently wrapped in a flash flood warning for Aransas County and the surrounding area, as these storms are dumping a tremendous amount of water in a short window. While most of the activity is focused on heavy rain, we are detecting some broad rotation and the potential for penny-sized hail near Ingleside. If you're along this part of the Texas coast, expect primary hazards to be blinding downpours and wind gusts reaching 50 miles per hour as this line shifts toward the open water. We are tracking a developing storm near Barksdale, Texas, that is beginning to show a much more defined core as it drifts northeast at 15 miles per hour. While there isn't a formal warning in place yet, this storm is reaching all the way to the ground and pulling more moisture upward, suggesting it could drop hail up to the size of pennies as it tracks toward Leakey and eventually toward Mountain Home. If you are in Real County, this is the time to move your cars under cover and head indoors before this heavy rain and small hail arrive. While we've been tracking some rowdy setups in the plains, Friday is serving up a massive slice of atmospheric heaven for the rest of the country. We have a sprawling range of nice and beautiful conditions, stretching from the West Coast through the Great Lakes, where high pressure is keeping the clouds away and the vibes high. It is a fantastic day to get those outdoor plans moving before the weekend kicks into gear. The absolute gold medal for Friday belongs to the northern Northeast, where we are tracking a perfect day with a stellar score of 89.9. Anchored near Rouse's Point, New York, this zone features light 7-mile-per-hour breezes and a crisp high of 62 degrees under nearly 0% rain chances. It is an elite window for a mountain hike, a long bike ride, or just soaking up some of that high-quality sunshine. If you are lucky enough to be in one of these top-tier zones, do not let this gift from the atmosphere go to waste. Get outside, enjoy that fresh air while it lasts, and I will be here at the Weather House, keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data. Stay happy, and remember, don't be scared, be prepared. Hey everyone, it is your national YALBot here, keeping an eye on the lower 48. You might have noticed our new Kentucky and Tennessee regional stream is already up and running on the channel, and we are looking to see which state should be next. Right now, Ohio is absolutely dominating the leaderboard with over 2,600 votes, but Missouri and Indiana are starting to make some serious noise in the top 3. Even Texas is climbing the ranks. We have over 11,000 votes in so far, across 49 different states. If you want your local weather to get its own dedicated 24/7 stream, head over to ryanhallyall.com/yallbot and cast your vote. Let us know where we should head next. Hey Cooper, great eye. What you're seeing is actually a mesoscale convective system, or MCS, which is basically a massive organized cluster of thunderstorms that has grown so large it develops its own circulation and starts spreading out a giant shield of cold cloud tops on satellite. Kind of like a hurricane's outflow, but driven by completely different physics. Hurricanes get their spin from warm ocean water and the Earth's rotation, while an MCS gets its structure from the contrast between the cold air it pumps out aloft and the warm, unstable air it keeps feeding on at the surface. That broad, circular, or comma-shaped cloud shield you're seeing is essentially the anvil layer of thousands of thunderstorms merging together and spreading outward at 30,000 to 40,000 feet. Same spooky look on satellite, totally different beast underneath. While severe weather dominates the southern plains, something quieter, but still impactful, is happening up in the Great Lakes region this morning. A late-season cold air mass has settled over the upper Midwest, and freeze warnings are active right now across parts of Michigan and Wisconsin. Marquette up in Michigan's Upper Peninsula dropped all the way to 24 degrees overnight. That's hard freeze territory, in late May. No storms, no drama, just a stubborn pool of cold air sitting over the region as the sun comes up. The temperature map here is painting a pretty stark picture across the UP and northern Wisconsin. Sub-freezing readings are widespread, and frost advisories extend further south into the lower portions of both states. The real concern this morning is sensitive vegetation, early season gardens, fruit tree blossoms, any tender annuals you've already put in the ground. A 24-degree low isn't just a frost situation, that's the kind of cold that can wipe out unprotected plants outright. NWS Marquette has freeze warnings in effect through the morning hours, so this isn't over yet. Here's the good news. The temperature model is rolling forward toward the Memorial Day weekend now, and the pattern flips hard. The WPC extended discussion notes the greatest positive temperature anomalies through the holiday period will actually be over the northern plains and upper Midwest, with readings potentially running up to 20 degrees above average. That is a dramatic turnaround from where we are right now. By Saturday and Sunday, the same region sitting in the 20s this morning should be looking at well above normal warmth. So if you're in northern Wisconsin, the UP, or the surrounding area, get out there and cover anything you don't want to lose before temperatures recover later today. Bring in potted plants, throw a sheet over the garden beds. The hard work pays off because by the holiday weekend, conditions flip completely. Enjoy the warm-up when it gets here. It's coming fast. A storm near Leakey, Texas is showing signs of weakening as it drifts northeast at 15 miles per hour, but it remains a concern for those in its path. Radar indicates this cell is still capable of dropping penny-sized hail as it moves toward Mountain Home, Texas. While the storm is losing some of its vertical strength, it is still making contact with the surface, so stay inside and away from windows until this heavy rain and hail core clears Real County. All right, let's shift gears to eastern Colorado because this afternoon is when things get interesting out there. SPC has a slight risk on the board for the eastern Colorado plains. Areas like Sterling and Fort Morgan fall inside that footprint. The main threat window is mid-afternoon through early evening, and the ingredients are coming together for supercells capable of large hail and an isolated tornado. This is the primary severe weather story for today's afternoon hours. Right now, Colorado is quiet. No storm cells within about 120 miles of the Front Range. What we're watching is what develops later. SPC and WFO Boulder are highlighting convective initiation near Denver and Colorado Springs as surface temperatures heat up this afternoon. Once those storms fire off the higher terrain, they're expected to push east into the I-25 corridor and out onto the plains. That's the zone to watch, from the Denver metro down through Colorado Springs and east toward Pueblo and beyond. The HRRR model, off its 9 a.m. run, shows the reflectivity signals starting to develop around early to mid-afternoon, roughly the 7 a.m. mountain timeframe, then organizing and pushing eastward through the late afternoon and into the evening. So if you're thinking about the commute, that's right in the crosshairs. The model keeps the activity moving east, off the Palmer Divide, and spreading toward the high plains through about 9 p.m. mountain time. That's a solid several-hour window of potential severe weather. Here's the bottom line on the instability side. WFO Boulder's discussion puts mixed layer CAPE near 1,500 joules per kilogram this afternoon, and the SPC notes 0 to 6 kilometer shear in the 45 to 55 knot range. That combination is more than enough to support supercells. The hail probability sits at 15% for large hail. That's the higher end threat here. Tornado probability is 2%, so isolated, but it's on the table if one storm becomes. Make sure your phone alerts are on and you have a plan before storms fire. Don't wait until you hear thunder. "12 of you are providing live ground truth on the map, with the biggest clusters holding the line in Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Texas. Listen up. We have 2 viewers sitting directly inside active warning polygons right now, so please stay weather aware and get to your safe spots if things get hairy. Let's zoom in on Taylor County, Kentucky, where a viewer is reporting some technical glitches with the stream visuals. Don't worry, I've got you covered. You've got a weak rain shower about 13 miles to your west near Campbellsville moving your way, but the real action holds off until tomorrow, when that severe threat ramps up for the Ohio Valley. For now, it's just a soggy morning with temperatures sitting at a comfortable 66 degrees. Now, let's fly over to Carroll County, Tennessee, where things are looking a bit soupy with fog and mist around McKenzie. You're sitting at 63 degrees with 100% humidity, and while it's just a slight 20% chance for a stray storm this afternoon, keep that umbrella handy. Tomorrow is the real deal, with a 100% chance of rain and some stronger storms possible as that warm front lifts north, so stay alert. And finally, let's fly up to Niagara County, New York, where we've got a viewer checking in from North Tonawanda. You're waking up to a chilly 45 degrees with some light rain moving through the area. But don't get used to the quiet, because a soaking couple of inches of rain and some thunderstorms are aiming for your Saturday. Enjoy the mostly sunny skies later today while you can, because that humidity is going to start climbing ahead of a much warmer holiday weekend. Big shout out to our 12 scouts providing that live intel from the map. We need 13 more of you to fire up Y'all mode in the WeatherWise app so we can hit our 25-pin target and get a full look at these conditions. Matagorda County needs to stay alert as a storm ramping up near Palacios, Texas, begins to show a much stronger hail signature on radar. This cell is pushing east-northeast at 25 miles per hour toward Matagorda, Texas. And while it's currently based higher in the atmosphere, the sudden rise in moisture and intensity suggests penny-sized hail is becoming more likely. We already have flood watches active across this part of the Texas coast, so even without a formal severe warning yet, you should prepare for a period of very intense rain and small hail. If you are in the path of this cell, move your vehicles under cover and stay indoors until this activity clears your area. The radar is showing a fading storm system near Leakey, Texas, that is beginning to lose its vertical structure as it travels northeast at 14 miles per hour. While the core is dropping in height, it still carries a threat for penny-sized hail as it drifts toward Mountain Home, Texas. Even though the storm is weakening, it is connected to the ground hail to pass. Flash flooding is happening right now across Nueces and Kleberg counties. The NWS has up to 3 inches already on the ground, with rates hitting 1 to 3 inches per hour. Corpus Christi, Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, Spohn Hospital South, La Palmera Mall, all under that warning. Scanner reports indicate water rescues are active in the region. If you're heading out for the morning commute, turn around. Do not drive through flooded roads. Happy Memorial Day. While we've spent the morning talking about some rowdy setups elsewhere, Monday is carving out a split national pattern with some absolute gems for your holiday plans. We are tracking 2 distinct beautiful zones where the atmosphere is playing nice, even as Gulf moisture tries to push clouds into the heartland. It is a fantastic day to get the grill going or hit the park if you're in the right spot. Out west, the Central High Plains are securing a beautiful day rating with a stellar score of 78.4. Phoenix, Arizona is the gold standard here, hitting a score of 82 with highs near 93 degrees and bone-dry dew points in the 30s. It is an elite window for a morning hike or a holiday cookout. Just keep that sunscreen handy with the high UV index. Our second beautiful pocket is tucked away in the eastern Great Lakes, specifically targeting northern Michigan. This region is offering a refreshing breath of fresh air, with localized subsidence keeping the skies clearer than the surrounding areas. It is the premier spot in the east for a trip to the lake or a long bike ride, while the vibes remain high and the air stays stable. Don't let these gorgeous holiday windows go to waste. Get outside and soak up that high-quality vitamin D while you can. I'll be here at the Weather House keeping Nimbus fed with the latest data, so y'all enjoy that sunshine and have a great Memorial Day. Hey Cyclonic, welcome in. Pull up a chair. The radar's warm and Nimbus just finished his upstream data breakfast, so we're ready to roll. Late May, and the Northern Rockies are buried. Yesterday, near Casper, Wyoming, they measured 22 inches of snow. That is not a typo. While the rest of the country is dealing with spring flooding and heat, this corner of the country is still fully in winter mode. Radar right now shows snow falling across a wide area from Yellowstone through the Shoshone National Forest, with a messy wintry mix of sleet and isolated freezing rain developing east of Lander toward Casper. The HRR model loop you're looking at takes us through this afternoon and evening. Snow coverage across Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho holds steady through midday. Then the system intensifies. By the 12-hour mark, the model is painting heavy mountain snow across the higher terrain of Montana and Wyoming, with rain continuing in the valleys. This thing is not winding down, it's actually peaking later today. For anyone heading into the mountains today, treat this like a full winter driving situation. High passes mean slick roads, reduced visibility, and the real possibility of closures. The Beartooth Highway, which typically opens for the season right around now, could see delays from this. 4 to 8 additional inches are expected at elevation. Check road conditions before you go. Breaking news from the National Weather Service. A special marine warning has been issued for the next hour and 52 minutes. This affects the coastal waters and bays near Corpus Christi and Port Aransas, Texas, where wind gusts up to 40 knots and potential waterspouts could capsize vessels or damage oil rigs. Calhoun County needs to watch a slow-moving storm that is gaining energy near Seadrift, Texas. Radar shows this cell is pulling more moisture upward and intensifying as it crawls east at just 9 miles per hour toward Port O'Connor. While we aren't seeing a formal warning on this specific storm yet, it is capable of dropping penny-sized hail, and there are active flood watches for this part of the Texas coast. If this is headed your way, get indoors and make sure your cars are protected from potential